Okay, so if you have actually watched this channel for a while now, you probably know that I say a lot of things against branding. Okay, you should not brand from the get-go, and I'm still a really big believer in that. Why that is the case, I actually explained in a separate video, so you can check that out. But what I want to talk about in this video is actually something more advanced. Because if you already had a bunch of winning products and you do want to brand, which totally does make sense, obviously, I only say that you shouldn't brand if you're a beginner. If you are already advanced and already made 6 figures or had a bunch of winning products in the past, you should actually think about branding ahead. So when you test products, you have to really keep in mind that some products are really suitable for branding and some products are not at all. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you actually need to focus on to make sure that your product will be suitable for the branding, and also understand that if you have a winner and the checkboxes which I'm going to tell you are not checked, then I wouldn't even start with branding, because it doesn't make sense to brand a product which doesn't fit all of those criteria perfectly. All right, even if it is a winning product for you right now. So again, a big disclaimer. Only listen to the advice I'm going to tell you here if you are advanced already, or at least intermediate. All right, so the very first thing you have to understand is you need to have an evergreen product. And that's pretty straightforward. You cannot sell a product which is only going to be perfect in winter and doesn't work in summer, or the other way around. It just doesn't make sense, because a branded product should be something which you sell all year long. And you could theoretically brand something which is only going to work for a couple of months, but it's just going to be such a big hassle and it doesn't really make sense. So what I would do is, number one, have an evergreen product which doesn't follow a trend. It's in a passionate niche which is not depending on some kind of weird trend. Okay? So if, for example, you sell a product which just went super viral on TikTok, and that's why it works for you right now, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to work all year long. It's just one trend which is going to work right now, but it's not something which is going to actually be long term. So this is pretty straightforward. However, the other thing which is very important and which most people don't think about when they think of branding is that you have to have a product which can go viral. And this one is really interesting, because if you actually want to make a really good brand out of your product, you need to have influencers which are going to make amazing content for you. And in some cases, even the best influencer cannot make a good video for your product because your product does not look good on camera, or it doesn't look special on camera. So if you, for example, take some kind of random product which is super boring and it takes so much work to make a really good video, it's going to be super tough to make a proper brand out of it. However, if you have a product which is having this super unique thing and is super easy to go viral in general, then it actually makes a lot of sense to do this. Actually, I'm going to show you one example here, and this is basically this Costa board, and it's some kind of weird skate/surfing thing to practice at home. And this product actually has amazing clips, and also the potential for amazing clips, because every clip for this product will be a person using it and doing something really cool, having a fail or whatever it is, but it just has this potential to go viral. So this thing is actually not the case for a lot of products. A lot of products are super boring and plain, and they do work well, but they're not perfect for this viral effect. And also you have to think in terms of niches, all right? If an influencer, which is just super broad and super general and basically doesn't have an audience in a passionate niche, for example, let's say a surfing audience, it's going to be pretty tough to market a specific product which is in a niche to the broad audience, all right? And you actually have to make sure that the targeting you're going to have on the product is very direct, very passionate, and you have a lot of influencers which you can actually pick from to make videos for you. For example, if you have something in the beauty niche, obviously you're going to have a lot of people who are super passionate in that niche. However, in the beauty niche, you have one really interesting phenomenon, which is going to be influencers which look really good on paper, as in they have amazing engagement rates, tons of likes, tons of comments, but then you for example, have like a girl basically doing some kind of makeup product. However, in reality, like 80% of their following are just horny guys, all right? So a makeup product would not make any sense in this case, and you have to make sure what the ratio there is. But just as an example with the beauty niche, like there are a lot of influencers with a really good, passionate audience, which are actually in the beauty field. For example, girls who do makeup tutorials. That's something else, and if you have a girl who's doing makeup tutorials, they will have a lot of girls who are super into that. okay? And the same thing goes for this Costa board example. There's a very clear target audience, and it's very clear who to target if you just want to pick an influencer. So the last thing we need to mention here is the quality of the product. And it is very important to pick a product with really good quality, which actually makes customers happy and lets them buy again and again. And this is important in two cases. Number one is if you have a product which has some kind of refilling system, that's a very important thing. If you have some kind of product where it just makes sense to buy it again in a month and again in 2 months, then the quality of the product is having to be, like, it has to be a 10 out of 10, because obviously the repeat customer business is the most important. So that's going to be huge if the product is actually really good and everybody is satisfied. And also in general, if you actually are going to put this extra work into having a warehouse and having everything like with 2-day delivery, it doesn't really make sense to have 2-day delivery and then shitty product, because then the people will still be unhappy. And obviously the same thing goes to products which are not branded. You should still only sell products which actually have a good quality, but obviously if you actually put in so much extra work into a brand, it should be something which is going to work long term. And all the problems you eliminate with a brand, for example, the feedback score, all the problems with like PayPal and all of those things, which are going to be way less because super quick shipping, are going to actually be higher again if the product is terrible. All right. So keep that in mind and just make sure that the product quality is really, really good. So here on that note, I actually have to also mention that you have to find products, and like you have to think about that you need to find a product which is going to be something which you can sell again and again and again to the same exact person. If you, for example, have a product which just goes empty, like some kind of cream, that's perfect because obviously the person is going to need to refill. And those things are important when you do a brand, because then the lifetime value of one single person is going to be huge. So if you're actually interested in branding your product, click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session with me personally, and we're going to have a one-on-one call where we figure out if your product is actually suitable for branding and how I can actually help with the branding process. All right. And also, if you're not there yet, if you don't have a winning product yet, that's also not a problem. You can also click the link below and just sign up for the consultation session to see how I can help you in general with getting you from not having a winning product to your first winning product. All right. So click the link below and see you there.